Welcome back to It Was Never a Phase Cards. In today's video, we have some craziness to talk about. We have Destined Rivals booster boxes making a really large jump, actually surpassing Paldea Evolved, and now currently Destined Rivals booster boxes are the most expensive box from the Scarlet and Violet era. I'm going to break down everything you guys need to know in this video, but let's just jump straight into it. And obviously, we're going to start off with the booster box itself. Now, you can see just in the past month, we're up 55% on these Destined Rivals boxes. Currently on TCG Player, the market price is $498, if you can believe that. And the listed median, which if you've been following recently, is a thing that we've noticed is a good indicator of where a box or cards can go. And the listed median is at $637. So we're most likely going to see these Destined Rivals boxes continue to trend up into the near future. The 3-month chart's looking pretty crazy as well, 88% in the past 3 months, from a low of $245 to kind of where we're at now at $498. And currently lowest listeds, there's a few that are a little bit below at around $485, and then it goes up into the $490s and the $500 range. Now, there was a large amount of sales on this box that happened yesterday, albeit it wasn't like a crazy amount though. So I don't know if this was any sort of buyout that happened. It was 54 boxes that sold yesterday. Now that's a lot of boxes, but back here on September 5th, we had 44 boxes sell in a day. We had 43 sell here, and even here we had 37. So it was definitely a little bit of an uptick, but it wasn't a crazy amount. And part of that is just due to there's not a ton of booster boxes out there currently. And part of what's going to be really affecting this is currently the Pokemon company is not really reprint, at least at this current time, they're not really reprinting booster boxes, and this is, I think, a result of that. What we have seen recently is they're printing a lot of ancillary products. We are getting more Destined Rivals, right? We just got tins recently. We're getting booster bundles. We're getting a lot of collection boxes, other stuff like that. And this is something we've seen from other sets as well. It's not just Destined Rivals. They haven't really been prioritizing booster box reprints. We haven't really seen much happen. I mean, there's been some Surging Sparks, but nothing really to be substantial. And obviously Destined Rivals is a new set, so we could be getting these booster boxes later, but just keep in mind that currently it's looking like a little bit of a scarcity when it comes to the booster box. And if you zoom out right here, obviously we're at an all-time high price. Even pre-release highs were at 350, crazy numbers, but now we're well over that. So the booster boxes are just up right now. And here's where Paldea Evolved is at, just for a reference point. Paldea is at 468 current market, and listed medians at 500. This box is definitely trending up, but it looks like Destined Rivals is going to outpace that, obviously. And it'll be interesting to see where the future of this box is by the end of the year, especially if we don't get any reprint or even a reprint announcement of booster box reprints. Things could start to get really crazy potentially by end of year. So yeah, crazy big jump on Destined Rivals happening right now. Even on eBay, we are seeing prices a little bit lower on eBay. Here are some of the last solds. You can see a case right here sold at $27.84. But the last loose boxes that sold were $450 with $11 shipping. And then this was well over $500, $470 with $52 shipping. And people have been posting, you can see other listings here that haven't been keeping up with the price. They just have been getting gobbled up. Anything in that lower $400 to upper $300 range gets instantly gobbled up on the market. So booster boxes are up everywhere, not just TCG Player. We're seeing the same thing happen on eBay. Maybe a little bit of a delay on eBay, and price is still a little bit more affordable there. So if you have to pick up a Destined Rivals box now, it looks like eBay might be one of your better places to pick something up. Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. It'll be interesting to see if these start to shoot up, get a little bit more attention. They've been up pretty big recently, but maybe with the booster box starting to move as well, we might start seeing this shoot up a little bit more. But right now, market on these is $357. You can see right here, 3 months ago, we were at $180 for a Destined Rivals PC ETB. They shot up to around, I don't know, $260 back in August, cooled off a little bit to $245, and now we're seeing a pretty big run up, in that $350 range. You can see the listed median price, $449. Pretty good indicator that these are going to continue to rise, as we've seen with the other Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. 78 boxes currently listed on TCG Player as well. And then we do need to talk about Team Rocket's Mewtwo. This is the special illustration rare, number 231. Now, this one's starting to get in low supply. It's currently up almost 30% in the past month alone, going from around 340 up to 440, so $100 in gain, and low supply, 17 copies. And this is where things are going to get very interesting, possibly. Lowest listed right now on TCG Player is $550, and then we get into the $600 range, and then the next listings go up into $900, $1,000, and then I think $2,500 is definitely a bit insane. But what we're going to see with these booster boxes shooting up so big in value, you know, obviously there's going to be other packs and other products to open, but people aren't going to be opening the booster box, not with these current prices. They're too expensive. And with the supply of the Mewtwo getting low, and we're going to see this card run up. It'll be interesting to see how high it goes, what happens. But yeah, definitely something I'm keeping an eye on very closely. Pre-release prices, just to summarize what's happened in the Mewtwo. 330, he did shoot up after release all the way up to almost 400, and then dip back down to 340, and now we're seeing approaching $500 raw for Team Rocket's Mewtwo number 231. So some big gains happening across the board. We're going to touch on some more singles and a little bit more sealed product as well. But before we do that, I just wanted to real quickly talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Shiny. If you're watching this video, obviously you collect Pokemon cards, and you need to be logging your collection in Shiny, because Shiny will give you the most up-to-date prices for all of your stuff. You got sealed product, you got booster boxes like me, you got PSA 10s, you got raw cards. No matter what you have, you can track your collection in Shiny. They have a very accurate card scanner. You can just take a picture of your cards, get everything uploaded that way. Their search engine is very fast. Before you can even finish typing in what you're trying to type in, it's up on the screen. So you can check out Shiny. They do have an app for both iOS and Android devices. It is what I use to track my collection. And in today's market, kind of like going well with this video, things can move very quickly. And there can be stuff you can have forgotten about, cards that like trainer gallery cards that have been shooting up recently. We saw, or Galarian Gallery, we saw that Lapras. Galarian Gallery shoot up real big recently. Trainer galleries are up. You never know what's going to be up. Just I feel like every day you can check and you'll see big gains. So Shiny does a great way of visualizing where your stuff is at as well, and I really like that because I'm a very visual person, so I like to see the charts and the graphs, so that really helps a lot. You don't have to take my word for it. Shiny has extremely good reviews, 4.9 out of 5 stars, and this is just on the Apple App Store. They also have a ton of reviews on the Google Play Store as well. So make sure you check out Shiny for all your collection needs. It's not just Pokemon as well. Any other TCG that you have, your Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever it may be, One Piece, you can track all your collection there as well. So make sure you check out Shiny. Link will be in the description. And let's jump back over to Team Rocket's Mewtwo just for a second, because there's a few other things I just wanted to mention. But let's talk about PSA 10s for a second. These are the last solds. We do, in the last few, we do have one selling as high as $1,900. But before that, pretty consistent, all in the $1,600 range. Just to give you a reference, if these raw prices continue to shoot up crazy, definitely going to be affecting the PSA 10s. And we've seen PSA 10s in general across the board just shoot up real big. So I don't know where this is going to go, the ceiling on this either, but just it'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on, how high this can go. And for those of you that are wondering, here's the pop report. If you are new to this, as far as what eBay does, you can now see the pop report on eBay, which is very helpful. So if you click on the actual listing, you can see the pop data. But here's how many have been graded. 6,257 as of this recording, and there are 3,271 10s. So a little bit over a 50% gem rate on the Mewtwo, which is pretty good. Not as good as some of the cards we've seen in the past, but definitely not as bad, you know, as some of those illustration rares. Obviously, this is a textured card. They tend to perform much better than the non-textured IRs, obviously. So still not that many cards in a 10 out there, albeit this is a newer set, and I bet there's a ton of these cards at PSA right now. PSA is in a bit of a backup, so we'll see a ton more of these hit the market, probably getting closer towards the holidays, so that'll be interesting to see what kind of effect that has. But currently that's the PSA 10 situation. There are some other great chase cards that we do need to talk about that are moving up as well. Cynthia's Garchomp, this is number 232, the special illustration rare. It's up 16% in the past 3 months, but in the past month, 27%. So we've seen this card have quite a decent little bounce back up to around $265 current market price on TCG Player. If we zoom out, you can see it was under 200 at release. It shot up to that 220 mark like late June, and then it fell down. It didn't really dip down below 200. It kind of hit 200 and kind of stalled, and then now we're seeing it obviously on its big run. Not as low of a supply of this card as we're seeing on the Mewtwo, but still kind of lower supply. There's only 29 copies on TCG Player right now. So if we get a few more sales, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, we could be up into that 280, pushing potentially $300 on Cynthia's Garchomp. So that's another interesting one just to keep an eye on as well. I'll keep you guys updated on all of this stuff. Make sure you hit the subscribe button with notifications. I do post every single day, so you guys don't have to do any of the research. I'll just make a video. You guys can just watch it. You can stay up to date with all the price movements on all the cards. Another big one is Ethan's Ho-Oh. This is a card, one of my chase cards from the set, by the way. I did pull this on a live stream, very fun, back June 29th. Actually, it was my birthday. So if you want to check that out, there is a video. You can go check that out. I'm super stoked. I have this card at PSA right now, so I'm very excited to see where this card ends up. But 45% gains in the past 3 months on this card, going from a low of 143 up to over $200 now. So it's still definitely below the Garchomp, but starting to crack into that range. Lower supply available as well, 21 copies. And if we zoom out right here, you can see this card dipped after release, which is more of the traditional thing that we usually see. It was at 189 and it dipped down as low as 138, and it kind of just held in that 140, 150 range before more recently starting to see a big uptick. So Ethan's Ho-Oh, we'll have to see where it can go. Maybe it can start to rival Cynthia's Garchomp. I don't think it's going to pass Cynthia's Garchomp. I don't think there's enough Ho-Oh fans out there. I mean, I was a Pokemon Gold kid growing up, so this card kind of, has a special place in my heart. But, I think a lot more people like Lugia in general, so I don't think there's enough Ho-Oh love to pass the Garchomp, but you never know. It is possible, so something else to keep an eye on. Lowest listeds right now are actually all above market price. This is a Japanese copy right here, so if we ignore that, 215, 220, 230, 250. So we'll keep tracking it, see where it goes. It's a nice looking card. I do like this card a lot. Can't wait to have it back. It's been at PSA for a while now. Team Rocket's Nidoking special illustration rare. This is number 233. This one's seen a little bit of an uptick as well. A little bit of different art style, a little more cartoony, but I like this card. You got Giovanni commanding his Nidoking. That's super cool. Up 14% in the past 3 months. It was under 100 back here. It shot up to 115, then came back down to 102, and now we're seeing at 114, 115 again. Lowest listeds right now are all higher than that, though. 117 and up into the 120s. So it'll be another interesting one to keep an eye on. This one's pretty much only gone up since release. At release, it was around $90, just for a little point of reference. So we'll see how high this one can go. The booster box is shooting up in price. Definitely probably going to, like I mentioned earlier, affect a lot of these cards moving up in general. So starting to get a little bit more expensive across the board, which is a little bit unfortunate for me because I am still working on my master set for Destined Rivals, but it is what it is. That is the problem with Pokemon. There's just so much stuff that comes out so quickly. It's hard to keep up. But right now, the Team Rocket's Moltres right here is what we're looking at. This is the special illustration rare number 229. Now this card's seeing a bit of a bounce, but it got hit. It was on a run. Then we got that announcement of that Team Rocket's Moltres UPC, which is getting a stamped version of this card, and then the price absolutely tanked. It was up to around 180. And then it tanked down to 132, but it has bounced back a little bit in the past month. It's up around 3-4%. So it's starting to move back up there in price into that $140 mark. Definitely an underrated SIR compared to maybe some of the other ones in the set. I thought this was a stunning looking card. I like the way that they drew Moltres with the wings coming across. But apparently, the market doesn't not agree with that. So it could be interesting to see kind of how these top cards maybe shake out in the long term. Just another interesting thing. But 38 copies currently available, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. A little bit more supply, not as popular of a card currently. Lowest listeds are at 144, which is just barely above the current market price, pretty much right there. So we'll have to see where this card holds on to as well. Then we have another, this was another one of my chase cards. Team Rocket's Crobat, special illustration rare number 234. This card's up pretty big in the past 3 months, actually, up around 30%. This card was getting pretty cheap. And I kind of kicked myself because I pulled this card once again. Actually, I pulled it in that stream, in that birthday stream, but I was wanting to pick up some more copies. And I really should have picked them up in that $60 range because I kind of wanted just to have a few and to potentially grade some as well. But we're at where we're at now. It's not insane, but we are up. It's kind of creeping up to that $100 mark. So 29% gain just in the past 3 months. If we zoom out, you can see it was 77 at release or before release, dropped down to around 64. And then it's been kind of climbing since then. So low 90s, low supply on this card as well. 21 copies currently listed. And if we go down to the lowest listed English, we're at 95, one copy at 95, and then we're in the $100 range. So this will be another interesting one to see if it can crack that $100 mark. Then Destined Rivals, just kind of as a set, have a lot of cards over that $100 mark. So that's very interesting as well. Shows a lot of strength for the set. So that's what we're seeing for SIRs. Let's talk about some illustration rares, though, to end it off. This is Misty's Psyduck, number 193. This card's been seeing some really big growth. It's a really nice illustration rare. Obviously, Misty, very popular. I feel like Psyduck is popular enough. I don't know if this card's up more because of Misty or Psyduck, but this is a nice illustration rare either way. 28% gain from $51 up to around 66 currently. Illustration rare is obviously easier to pull, so we are seeing a higher supply, 71 copies, but still down there, still a decent amount, under 100 copies currently. And lowest listed for an English copy right now is over 70 with shipping. So this was another interesting one, and maybe just a few more sales could shoot up into the $80 range. So keep an eye out on Misty's Psyduck as well. This is one too that probably going to be a little bit tougher to grade. We could start seeing, as these prices move up, maybe some big PSA 10 sales in the future. I didn't pull up the PSA 10s for this video. I can't touch on PSA 10s for every card in every single video. It'd be too long, and they'd be like 1 hour, 2 hour videos. But in the future, we will touch on this card in a PSA 10. Also, Misty's Lapras seeing a little bit of an uptick. We saw that Galarian Gallery from Crown Zenith, that Lapras move up big recently. And a lot of people were saying that this was their favorite Lapras card. I think I prefer the Galarian Gallery one a little bit more. But I do like this card as well. This is a nice, maybe this is a close second for me. But up around 17% in the past 3 months, from a $30 card up to around 36. Over 100 copies still available. And lowest listeds right now are, looks like right around 36, 35, 36-ish range for the Misty's Lapras. And then there's some gold cards starting to move as well. The gold cards are actually, they're a little bit more difficult to pull than people realize. They really haven't gotten these style of gold cards really haven't gotten possibly the attention or price that they deserve. But either way, Team Rocket's Mewtwo gold card right here, number 240 with Giovanni. I do like how they did the trainer cards with the trainer in the background. Different versions of those cards since they started doing that. I do think it's a fun look. But up around almost 8% in the past month. So not too crazy, but we're starting to see upticks kind of almost across the board on just like everything from the set, from 65 up to 70. So it's nothing insane, but I just thought it was worth noting in this video. And then if we zoom out, we can see this was 57 at release, shot up to that 71, back down to 61, and now we're seeing it at 70. So it'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. 41 copies currently available. The reason we might see some move, like I said, I don't think this is maybe the most desirable card, but a lot of people will be master setting Destined Rivals, including myself. So this is another one that, like, it's just everything's going up and I still need so many cards from the set, but we're slowly working on that. Slowly but surely we'll keep adding cards to the master set and until we're done. But yeah, I'm still very happy with where I'm at with my Destined Rivals master set journey. I'll maybe have to show you guys a little bit in a future video, kind of like where it's at. But we're doing decent right now. So yeah, the Mewtwo is the big expensive one that we still have. And then I might need another Ethan's Ho-Oh, unfortunately. So that's going to be another, because if mine grade's a 10, then I have to have another one for the binder, right? First world problems, right? So we'll see where that one ends up. But then we need to talk about some other sealed product. I forgot I saved this for the end of the video. Now we're seeing, this is the regular Elite Trainer box. We're seeing this up 18% in the past 3 months, from around 86 up to over 100 currently, with the most recent sale actually at 115 and the listed medians at 120. So we could be seeing regular ETBs continue to rise. Lowest listeds right now are at 110. So that's just where the regular ETBs are at. If we zoom out right here, you can see we got to zoom out past this. Yeah, these were abnormally obscene prices way back there. We're going to ignore that. Some of those pre-release prices are just, they're obscene. I don't know why people buy those at those rates, but this is a little bit more realistic for pre-release. 160. It dropped all the way down. Looks like the lowest we've ever seen this box on TCG was around 85. So it's bouncing off of that. And it is a nice looking ETB, I do have to admit. I like the black with the big red R. It's always fun. And then booster bundles have shot up quite a bit recently as well. Maybe potentially one of the more undervalued for the set currently. I don't know. I'd have to do a little bit more of a deep dive on kind of all the sealed product and kind of break things down. But these are around $51, $52 currently. A month ago, they were around 44. So a big jump just for in the last month. In the last 3 months, it's not up as much because these had kind of fallen a little bit, up only 10% in the past month. But there's 1,700 booster bundles listed on TCG Player, which is a good amount. Listed medians at 55, and the lowest listeds are just barely under that. So we're pretty much right there actually at that kind of 55. And that's the listed median price. We'll probably be here for a little bit. It's probably stagnant at this price. So that's what we have as far as sealed product goes. So that was a little overview of Destined Rivals and where things are at. Like I mentioned earlier, the Pokemon Company with their reprints and how they're handling things is a little different than what we've seen in the past. And this is kind of the first real time that we're really seeing such big, rapid movement on a newer set. I know the market has been insane and things are like super accelerated. So it is a little shocking to see. Once again, it's not that Destined Rivals booster boxes, like I didn't see them hitting this price. It's I didn't see them hitting this price anywhere near this quickly. And if they're going to not prioritize booster boxes moving forward, which doesn't mean that they can't later, right? Because traditionally, like the reprint window is roughly around 2 years, give or take, albeit they can reprint it whenever they want. But it's usually kind of within that 2-year window. So obviously Destined Rivals has a lot of time. But, you know, the thing that they're running into is with every new set, and obviously we're seeing delays currently with Mega Evolution, which is supposed to be out this Friday. We're seeing a delay on that. It's like a 60-40 split. We're getting like 60% of the launch immediately and then 40% delayed. And then I've been hearing a little bit more of a kind of the same thing possibly happening with Phantasmal Flames. So they're having a hard time either printing or keeping up with the newer sets. And so that's just going to kind of be the thing of like, when are they going to have time to reprint? They can't reprint every single set, right? There's going to be stuff that gets missed. You would assume that Destined Rivals would be one of those sets that would get reprinted in the future, because I think it's one of the more popular sets from the Scarlet and Violet era. But, you know, they do have their hands full. Obviously, they've been printing Prismatic very heavily. We've seen a ton of Prismatic just entering Costco, online everywhere, right? So, and what you've seen with that, you know, we saw ETBs, we've seen tins, but we haven't seen a ton of mainline set reprints, maybe besides with Surging Sparks. There was, we did get booster boxes, but it wasn't that crazy. And it was a lot of, we saw a good run of ETBs and definitely booster bundles and other stuff like that. So it's just going to be an interesting thing moving forward. I think potentially moving into the holiday season, things are going to get potentially pretty crazy, which is kind of scary if I'm being completely honest. So we'll have to see where things end up by that. And then, by the time we get towards Christmas, then we're really not that far away from the 30th anniversary. We'll be right there. So we're looking in, it's exciting, but scary at the same time. So that's my perspective. Is I'm excited to see where it is, but scared to see what the prices are going to be on this stuff. So that's all I have for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Destined Rivals is going insane. If you're this far in the video and you're not already subscribed, do yourself a favor, hit the notification, the subscribe button with the notifications on. I would greatly appreciate it. But that's all I have. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.